Avatar: The Last Airbender has been going through a revival lately. After being placed on Netflix for everyone to enjoy, it seems like fans old and new can't stop talking about the show. Amongst the shipping wars and controversial hot takes, one spicy subject has gotten my attention: the question of whether Aang should have killed Fire Lord Ozai in the finale. While Aang murdering Ozai has gotten a lot of support amongst fans, there's a camp just as large that argues that the violence is unnecessary and takes away from the true message of the ending. But what if I told you that there might be some valid character and plot related reasons for Aang to kill Ozai, and it could be more than just a violent act of vengeance? Personally, when it comes to the morality side of things, I think that if Aang has the option to render Ozai powerless without killing him, he should totally take it. But I think there's some untapped potential with the murdering Ozai option that could really do wonders for Aang's character arc. Let's talk about Aang and his growth throughout Avatar. From the very beginning of the series, Aang's main problem has been his fear of becoming the Avatar. He knows how much he's going to have to sacrifice to become the protector of the world, and he's understandably terrified of that. As we all know, this causes Aang to run away, and this is what essentially kicks off the plot of the series. Aang has made the active decision to run away from his struggles, and his decision has consequences. The Fire Nation only continues to grow while he's frozen in ice, to the point where they're pretty much unstoppable. Obviously, Aang abandoning his responsibilities is a mistake, and the show makes this clear. He can't do this. He has to overcome his fears and become the Avatar. We see this flaw in Aang again in the Book 2 finale. In order to master the Avatar state, Aang has to potentially sacrifice Katara, but he's unable to overcome his struggle. Sensing Katara is in danger, he rushes to go save her, and his eventual confrontation with Azula gets him killed in the Avatar state. So not only is he dead, but the Avatar cycle is over. That's kind of a problem. But then we're reminded that Katara should get way more credit in saving the world, as she resurrects him with her spirit water. And even in the episode after all of this, we see Aang at what is probably his lowest point of the whole series. Again, the show makes it clear that Aang's inability to do what it takes to become the Avatar is bad. He has to overcome his self-doubt and anxieties and accept his responsibility as the chosen one. And now we come to the finale. Aang is faced with another obstacle in becoming the Avatar. He has to take Fire Lord Ozai's life, but his upbringing as an air nomad and personal beliefs against violence makes him reluctant to the idea. He asks the past Avatars for wisdom, and Roku, Kyoshi, and Kuruk all reiterate pretty much the same idea that this is Aang's responsibility as the Avatar, and he's going to have to sacrifice his personal beliefs for the good of the world. Even after going to Yang Chen, the previous air nomad Avatar, she expresses the same sentiment. Aang has to kill Ozai. His personal morals can't come before his duty as the Avatar. This finally causes Aang to realize there is no way out, and he solemnly admits, "I guess I don't have a choice, Momo. I have to kill the Fire Lord."
Whoa, hey, who's waking me up?
What the? Are you talking to me?
Oh, hey kid. What are you doing all the way out here?
Oh, you know, just dealing with moral dilemmas.
That's rough, buddy. Hey, wanna see what I can do?
Gee, thanks, Lion Turtle. Yeah, so the sudden Lion Turtle feels kind of cheap to me. Aang spent all this time wrestling with a really tough moral struggle, and he was ready to accept the harsh reality of the situation. Then this Lion Turtle appears out of nowhere and teaches him a whole new form of bending which we didn't even know existed. And once again, Aang runs away. Instead, he actually gets away with it with pretty much no consequences. He doesn't sacrifice, he doesn't work to overcome his fears, he doesn't expect his responsibility like the show has been teaching him to do. He gets an easy way out of a very intense moral dilemma. And that's what really bothered me about the Lion Turtle. Not the fact that it was a bit of a plot convenience, but the fact that it contradicts one of the main lessons Aang was being taught throughout Avatar. Could you imagine if Aang had to step out of his comfort zone and kill Ozai? What a dramatic moment moment that would have been. But we'll never get to see it because of Plot Convenience Island over here. Now, I think this is a pretty good argument for why Aang should have killed Ozai. I mean, of course I do, I made a whole video about it. And I hadn't seen it proposed before online, so I thought it would be interesting to share. But my word isn't law, as goes for all of my videos, and it's perfectly fine to have a different viewpoint on it. That's why I considered the other side of the Aang versus Ozai argument. And I have to admit, there are some pretty good advantages to that side as well. I do like the idea that Aang isn't just doing what the past avatars tell him to do anymore. I think it shows that he's really stepped into his own as the avatar. It also shows how Aang doesn't have to stoop to Ozai's level, so to speak. Ozai believes that violence is the only way to get what he wants, but Aang proves him wrong by stopping him while still sparing his life. After talking about it for a while, I'm honestly not quite sure where I land. Obviously, I went more in depth with my argument for Ozai's death, but that was only because I hadn't heard those points made before and wanted to communicate them as best as I could. When I think about those points again, I'm on Team Kill Ozai, but then I remember the powerful and creative implications of Aang sparing Ozai's life, and it makes me want to see that ending instead. I don't know for sure. Either way, I still loved Atla's finale, and it was even more well done than the rest of the show. I'll just have to keep asking those important questions. Should Aang have killed Ozai? Is Azula an abusive psychopath or a damaged victim? Why do people like Sokka with his hair down? I'm sorry guys, it's just not a look for me.
Oh, don't let the cave-in get you down. Don't let the falling rocks turn your smile into a frown. When the tunnel's as dark as that's when you need a clown. Hey!